Dragon's Will, Chapter 127, The Shattered Convergence. The air pressure inside the arena completely buckled as Raito rocketed toward Ishori, a streak of absolute blinding speed. Ishori's eyes widened slightly as he lashed out, his razor-sharp claws, tearing through the empty air where Raito had been just a millisecond before. With a hyperspeed, teleportation-like shift, Raito materialized directly behind his back. Ishori caught the movement, in his peripheral vision, violently spinning to deliver a brutal kick, but Raito raised his arms, deflecting the heavy blow with a sharp, echoing shockwave. Ishori skidded back in midair, a dark, wicked smirk pulling at his face. This is something else, he hissed, his eyes gleaming with malicious excitement. But it does not matter. Teki, Chitin. Instantly, Ishori began to spin at a terrifying velocity, transforming into a roaring, destructive tornado right there in the sky. He rushed toward Raito like an apocalyptic drill. Raito veered hard to the left, flying in jagged, lightning-fast angles across different spots in the air. But the vortex of the chitin tracked him with horrific precision, snapping at his heels. No matter how many evasive maneuvers Raito made, he couldn't break the lock. Realizing he couldn't outfly it, Raito stopped dead in midair. He thrust his hands forward, channeling his soul energy into the atmospheric elements. Teki, Ishigaki. A massive, dense elemental wall materialized directly in front of him. A split second later, the roaring vortex of Ishori's chitin slammed into the barrier. A deafening groan echoed through the stadium as deep, jagged cracks spiderwebbed across the Ishigaki structure. With a final, explosive surge of force, Ishori tore completely through the wall, smashing straight into Raito's chest. The impact sent Raito flying violently backward across the sky until he crashed heavily into the stone arena wall, the rock shattering under the force of his body. Ishori stopped spinning, hovering effortlessly in the air as he let out a mocking laugh. Now that was fun, he chuckled, shaking out his wings. Down on the arena floor, Fuma's eyes were wide with a mixture of awe and deep suspicion. He glared up at the smoky crater in the wall, then turned his gaze toward Agi. "Hey," Fuma muttered, his voice tense and low. "This Raito guy, he uses the exact same techniques as the Conqueror. Who the hell is he? Is he really with us?" Age didn't look back at him, his eyes locked on the sky, but a knowing, tragic smile touched his lips. "Trust me, he is more with us than you can possibly imagine." Fuma scoffed, his grip tightening on his weapon. "Well, then that's a problem if you're the one saying it, because I don't trust you either. Don't think for a second I forgot everything about you, AG." At those words, Age's weak smile slowly faded, melting into a deep, heavy sadness. He didn't defend himself. He just kept his eyes on the battle. Up above, Raito slowly pulled himself from the crumbling masonry, shaking off the debris as his aura flared back to life. He rose into the air, flying back out to face his opponent. Ishori watched him approach, his tone dripping with absolute mockery. "Wow. Impressive. Using Teki movements. If I tell this to Denka, he will be amazed. Or not, or whatever." Raito ignored the taunting. Instead, his eyes darted downward, locking onto Age. Below, Age caught the silent signal and immediately dropped into a low, lethal stance, bracing his body. Ishori noticed the sudden shift in energy, his eyes narrowing as he looked suspiciously at Raito. "What's next then? You want to—" Before Ishori could even finish the sentence, Raito interrupted him with a ferocious, blinding frontal assault. Ishori threw a heavy punch to intercept, but Raito slipped underneath the strike, ducking behind his back and aiming a vicious kick straight into the joint of Ishori's wings. As the blow connected, Raito's hands surged with fluid soul energy. Teki, Mizuboru. Lightning fast, a massive, pressurized blast of water erupted from Raito's hands, instantly morphing and enveloping Ishori's entire upper body in a thick, inescapable sphere of swirling water. "What the hell is this?" Ishori's voice muffled through the sphere, his tone turning genuinely upset as he struggled against the liquid pressure. With a brutal follow-up strike, Raito kicked Ishori straight upward into the open air. "Daku, it's time!" Age roared from below. Inside Age's consciousness, the ancient dark entity rumbled with a savage grin. "Let's rock." Age leaped with everything his ki-infused legs had, launching himself high into the sky toward the trapped opponent. An electric blue blinding aura exploded around Age's body, and for a split second, the gargantuan, terrifying shadow of the Black Dragon materialized directly behind him. Age channeled every ounce of his power into his outstretched hands. Kaminari Inazuma. A catastrophic lightning storm erupted from Age's body. The deafening roar of raw electricity tore through the sky as a massive, jagged bolt blasted directly into the Mizuboru water sphere, holding Ishori. Because water conducts electricity, the elemental combo was devastating. "What is this?" Ishori screamed in agony as the lightning tore through him. Age pushed the blast even harder, his veins bulging as he screamed through the intensity of the attack. Right beside him, Raito appeared, his hands already glowing with a volatile, bright orange. "Light, Teki, Honuburetto?" A rapid-fire barrage of blazing, condensed fire bullets launched from Raito's palms, streaking through the sky and hammering into the electrified water sphere. The combined forces of ki-driven lightning and Teki-driven fire created a massive, unstable thermal reaction. Boom! A catastrophic explosion detonated in midair, completely swallowing Ishori in a thick, black cloud of roiling smoke. Down below, Fuma stared into the burning sky, whispering quietly to himself. Did they actually do it? The smoke began to rapidly vaporize in the wind. Age scanned the empty sky, his chest heaving, as he gasped, "Huh? Where is he?" Swish. Before the word could fully leave Age's mouth, Ishori materialized like a ghost directly behind his back. His face was scorched, but his eyes were filled with pure fury. With a sickeningly powerful kick, Ishori struck Age square in the spine. Age let out a choked scream, his body shooting downward like a meteor before crashing violently into the arena floor, shattering the stone tiles. In the next heartbeat, Ishori vanished again. He reappeared right behind Raito's shoulder, whispering in a silent, deeply creepy voice. "Well, if this was your grand plan, then you failed." Ishori drove a brutal, heavy fist directly into the center of Raito's back. The kinetic shockwave cracked the air. Raito was thrown across the sky, completely unable to stop his momentum, until he crashed heavily back into the distant arena wall, buried in fresh rubble. Ishori floated in the sky, letting out a dark, arrogant laugh as he wiped a trail of blood from his eyelid. "So, is this really all you got?" He casually cast his gaze downward, looking toward where Juro stood. Juro hadn't moved an inch, still calmly smoking his cigar, his eyes tracking the chaos. Hidden away in the shadows, Ryu watched the brutal display, his hands trembling with nervous anxiety as he saw their strongest fighters tossed aside like ragdolls. Ishori smirked down at Juro. "You and..." He paused, his eyes widening slightly as he scanned the immediate area. "Huh? Where is the brat?" Fuma was completely gone from the arena floor. Ishori's arrogant demeanor shattered, his head snapping around nervously as he looked in every direction. Suddenly, a blinding golden light pierced the upper atmosphere, directly above Ishori's blind spot. Fuma descended from the sky like a falling star, his golden sword raised high above, his head radiating and blinding pure energy. Fuma's voice echoed through the stadium with absolute, unyielding fury. "Behold, the power of the Mituki clan." Ishori's eyes snapped upward, his face twisting into pure shock. "What?"